One of the really complicated things in life is fatherhood, and those who are parents will understand me. Yes, the reward is amazing, but the fact that it's difficult is undeniable. And if I asked you who comes to your mind when you think of an excellent Hollywood actor who is also a great dad, Robert Downey Jr. probably wouldn't be one of them, right? It's all because of his difficult past that I have doubts about it, but you know what? You better get comfortable because in this video, I will talk about Indio, the actor's oldest son, and how Robert Downey Jr.'s dark past almost ruined the life of his oldest son. But before we get into this, leave a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for daily content. As I was telling you, I can assure you that being a father is one of the greatest responsibilities and one of the most challenging things in life. Well, Robert Downey Jr. once said in an interview that he wasn't convinced if he's fit to be a father and he would be able to be a responsible dad. And in his own words, that means becoming a role model and let's say knowing the background of this actor and precisely the terrible father figure he had, his doubts were just fully justified. Robert Downey Jr. was born on April 4th of 1965, just when the hippie era was in full swing in the United States, and that movement of love and peace really influenced his parents, especially Robert Downey Sr., a director of satirical comedies. Well, Robert Sr. loved that time very much, and Robert Downey Jr. admitted that in his childhood, he had been around a certain little green plant a lot. The good vibes of his father's hippie lifestyle really went overboard because he allowed his son to smoke when he was just 6 years old. Robert later declared that those moments were the only connection that he had with his father. Isn't that sad? Obviously, having been exposed to illegal substances and being around them was a part of his daily life, so because he started using drugs at a very young age, the actor developed an addiction. But in the 80s and 90s, things got out of control. It was so bad that in 1996, a couple of his friends, the actors Sean Penn and Dennis Quaid, were really worried about Robert's health, so they signed him up for a rehabilitation center in Tucson, Arizona. But 3 days later, Downey escaped, boarded a plane back home, and went back to his old ways. But fortunately, currently the actor is not only a wonderful husband to his second wife Susan, but also an excellent father. Besides being completely committed to the upbringing and education of the two children they have, he also knows how to discipline them when it's necessary. But if you're thinking that it includes physical punishment or something like that, you're wrong. It's very important for Robert that his children have the freedom to play, enjoy their childhood, bruise their knees and get dirty when they learn. However, he also knows that he has to pay attention to them and teach them how important it is to spend time doing productive things. But the truth is that in his 54 years, the actor has changed not only his habits, but also his way of looking at life, and that includes raising his children. It's because just like a lot of other cases in Hollywood, Robert has children with a couple of different women. The first one is the actress, model, and singer Deborah Falconer. The couple said "I do" on May 29th of 1992 after dating for just 42 days. Do you think they were sure that they were meant to be? They were married for 12 years, but although their marriage lasted just over a decade, they had only one child, who they decided to name Indio, who was born on September 7th of 1993. Unfortunately, things between Robert and Deborah didn't work out as they had wished, so on April 24th of 2004, they decided to split up. And although to be honest, this divorce was much more twisted than I just made it seem. I say that because during the 12 years of their marriage, Deborah had to deal with her husband's addictions and other demons. That's why she decided to follow the saying, "New year, new life," or should I rather say new millennium, new life, because in 2000, she decided to move out of the house and begin the divorce process. However, the whole process ended after 4 years. I mean, we can imagine how difficult divorce is for a couple, and although the poor Indio had already witnessed the many ups and downs of his father after the divorce and everything, it only got worse. Despite that, and despite Robert's multiple problems with controlling his use of drugs, Indio shared the screen with his father a year after the divorce was finalized in 2005, when he was just 12 years old. And not only did he appear in the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but he also played the same character as Robert, that is Harry Lockhart, a thief who becomes an actor by accident. Obviously, Indio played the younger version of the character, and who would have done it better? After all, he resembles his dad so much. However, that wasn't the only time when Indio showed that he has acting talent in his blood, because later he appeared in the movie Play of Consciousness. Although his favorite thing has always been music, from an early age he'd always showed his talent for the guitar, so he started playing it professionally in his teens and later formed the rock band The Dose with his best friend Ralph Alexander. Do you remember that at first I told you that his father's dark past of addiction almost ruined Indio's life? Well, before he decided to form his band, this talented boy also had to battle with his own demons, and it turns out that in June of 2014 he was arrested in Hollywood for possession of drugs. When that happened, obviously the whole thing became a massive scandal. However, as it should always be, Robert and his ex-wife Deborah supported their son throughout the whole trial. After the accusations and the hearings, Indio pleaded guilty. Because of that, the authorities gave him the opportunity to avoid a felony conviction under the condition that he stayed in rehab for 90 days. But in addition to that, Indio has also had to avoid all things related to illegal substances for at least 18 months for the charges to be completely dropped. After the judge assigned to his case ruled that Robert told TMZ that he and his ex-wife Deborah were truly grateful for the opportunity the authorities gave their son. And besides that, Robert also admitted that he felt guilty, to be honest. He had the right to do so. Why do I say so? Well, it's because in an interview, the actor said, unfortunately, there's a genetic component to addiction, and everything Indio has likely inherited it. Also, there is a lot of family support and understanding, and we're all determined to rally behind him and help him become the man he's capable of being. We're grateful to the Sheriff's Department for their intervention and believe Indio can be another recovery success story instead of a cautionary tale. And fortunately, this is what happened. After attending the rehabilitation program ordered by the judge, the actor's son managed to overcome his addiction. It was just after a difficult time that Indio decided to form the rock band I told you about before, and with that, he started to become the great man his father mentioned in the interview. The truth is that despite that, as far as we could investigate, there is not much talk about when it comes to his love life, and if something characterizes Indio, it's that he keeps his private life secret. And unfortunately for us, it's not that good because we have nothing to talk about, but if you put yourself in his shoes, the truth is that what he does is very good, because in the end, private life is just that, private. But according to the gossip that's going around, Indio is single and is far from thinking about committing because he is already very committed to his music career. By the way, thanks to the albums Saline and Jam in the Van, from which songs such as Cold Hands or Vervain come from, the net worth of Indy is valued at $100,000. Sure, he still hasn't reached his first million, but it surely won't take him long to do so. And in addition, he is 26 years old, so he still has a lot of time. So guys, did you know all of these details about the eldest son of Robert Downey Jr.? Would you like Indio to follow in his father's footsteps and try acting again? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with Curious Sips, and share the video with your friends. See you next time!